Hi. So today I thought I will discuss about the difference between optimal values and normal values. So people think they are the same. Like you get your lab test and you get your lab test done and your blood markers. You see that that's within the normal range. You feel everything is fine. I'm all fit. I'm all good. So when people talk to me when I get on client calls, when I ask them about their numbers, the first thing they say to me is that. Yeah, I'm all good. I'm not feeling great. I have some issues. I have acidity. I have a bloating. I have a migraine. I have I'm very much tired. I'm not feeling great, but I don't have much issues. All my numbers are normal. So that's an interesting thing, right? Like everything is normal, but I'm not going well. That's that's ridiculous. So what does that mean, right? So that is where the difference between normal and optimal comes, right? So I'm just giving you an example. Suppose the average shoe size in India is between for a guy is between 6 and 10. That means anything in this range is considered normal, and your foot size is say 9. And if I force you to wear a size 6 or a size 7 shoes, you will be uncomfortable, right? So what does that mean? That means that there is a particular size for you which fits you the best. Just because it feels in the fits in the normal range, or I cannot just plug in any normal value and say that would be okay for you. So there is something that is very specific to you, and that might not be exactly the same for somebody else. So that is the difference between normal and optimal. Optimal will be specific to you, right? And normal is a general term. So one thing like for instance fasting insulin test, it's not a test which people do most often, but those who do it are often misled because they find that ranges from say 2 to 25. That's ridiculous. 2 to 25, that's like a 23 point unit between the lowest permissible and the highest permissible. So what you should know is when it comes to these kind of ranges, there's something called there's a statistical method called normal distribution, which is essentially a bell curve. Essentially, those who know about it, it's essentially a bell curve where you're trying to fit 95% of the population into that bell curve. So 2.5% who is like so the range is decided on so that 95% of the population fits into it. So 2.5% on this side and 2.55% on this side are outliers. So that's how the lab ranges are made. So when everybody is out of shape, when everybody is fat, then being fat is normal. So similarly, because insulin values are high for everyone, so when you're trying to fit 95% of the population into that lab range, that's the reason lab ranges are so ridiculously wide. And that is something we need to like you need to know, because that is not, you cannot get your values say 20 and 21 and think all is fine because you are like 2 points away from the highest possible value, permissible value. That's bullshit. So what is the optimal thing, right? Optimal value is what best fits you. It might not be for somebody else. And another instance I want to say is about say vitamin B12. I often see people saying my vitamin B12s are normal. What is your value, sir? 250. I'm like, 250, that's normal for you? Like, you're serious? 250 you think is normal? Yeah, lab ranges from 215. 215 plus is normal. Like, you don't understand that lab ranges mean like it's like say when you have a vitamin D lab range, it means that it's made with the intention of fitting maximum people and you are avoiding any grave consequences. So it is not it is not for your optimal health, it's just to avoid any grave diseases. So say when you have a number like 250, what does that mean? It's like, yeah, it's enough to avoid the deficiency disease, it's enough to avoid a serious condition, but it is not enough to be very healthy. I hope you get the difference. say for vitamin C, very low values mean you are getting a scurvy, but just above the cutoff means what? You are still not fine, you are not functioning well, but you have enough to avoid a deficiency. And that's how these numbers are made, right? Like the first priority is to avoid any grave diseases that might come from deficiency. It's never about optimal health. Optimal health is something that's very specific to you, and that is something you will never expect public authorities to throw it your way. It is something that you have to find out and you have to go there. So when I talk to our clients, I never say like 30, above 30 is vitamin D is enough for you. No, I don't do that. Anything like bare minimum 60. Anything less than 60, I'm not happy with it. I will never be happy with anything less than 60. If you can get it to 70 and 80, yeah, cool. That would be ideal for me. So that's how you do what is best for you. That's how you push for the optimal. It's not just about getting normal. So coming back to vitamin B12, somebody is happy with, like most of the people will have somewhere in say 250, 300 range. And people are happy with it, but they still have the tingling sensation, they have tiredness, but they're like, my values are normal, how is this happening? So that is what you don't understand. That is something you need to understand, that optimal is the key. You want to be optimal. Just being normal doesn't mean a shit. Normal does not mean anything. Normal does not have value. Normal just is you're avoiding any grave condition. That's all. But you are not healthy. So that is something you need to do, and you need to try maximum to get as close to optimal for every single marker. That's the perfect health. And you should be, and more than the marker, you should be able to feel great. If marker is perfect and you're feeling like crap, that is still not optimal. So how you feel is the first preference. Marker is the second preference. And everything else is like third, right? Everything else is like comparatively less relevant. First preference is always how you feel. Because if you are feeling like crap, how much ever perfect your marker is, or how much ever you fit into some spectrum, like say normal spectrum, that doesn't mean anything. Many times I see thyroid cases, they are like my TSH is within range, T3, T4, everything is fine. I am completely fine, I'm not. But when you look at it, when you look at the numbers, you understand that they are having subclinical hyperthyroidism. What is subclinical? Means lab marker wise they are fine, they are okay, they are normal, but they are not optimal. The person has borderline hypothyroidism. That is subclinical. So there are many conditions like this which are subclinical, which may not be significant enough to throw your numbers off, but definitely that is there, and an experienced practitioner can definitely spot this. And that's why understanding or talking to the person, talking to the client, talking to the patient to understand about the symptom should be priority number one. Then it should be the lab markers. If you're like just going by lab markers and ignoring what feedback the person has to say, most probably you're getting it wrong, because lab markers don't often reveal the full story. Somebody can have a normal SGOT, SGPT and be walking with grade 2 fatty liver. That's very common. So there are many numbers which only rise up when the situation is terrible. Till then it might not. So there are many aspects like this when you have to understand when it comes to lab markers and all that. And you should keep in mind that optimal is what you want, not just normal. Normal will be enough to, enough to satisfy the doctor who sees you for 5 minutes, but you ultimately are living with yourself. You are living with your body, so you want it to be optimal. So always strive for the optimal values, and you should be feeling great. If you are not feeling great with that values even, then that is not optimal. Then your optimal is somewhere else. So I hope this point is clear. Always strive for optimal health, and normal is just average, mediocre. Don't give a shit. Bye.